Quick blurb.
Good evening, Munchie Mafia. Tonight is Wheel of Misfortune, and we will be cooking venison, lima beans, macaroni, and pickles. Thanks a lot, guys. Let's get to it. All right. So this has been a puzzle for me because I am not quite sure exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to figure it out. So the choice is we could go with easy peasy, or we could go with I'm going to F your world up, Civi. Let's go expert mode on this. So just type in the chat what you want to see, expert mode or just easy peasy. The ingredients are venison, pickles, lima beans, and elbow macaroni. Hi, Cece. Welcome to FAFO. I don't understand what that means. You have easy or expert mode. And then I'll explain my thought process. Got a whole bunch of random ingredients that I pulled out of my pantry and my refrigerator and freezer. So, Will. Hey, Will. See you soon, bud. Expert mode. You suck, man. You suck. No, I'm kidding. I better not say that to my boss. Welcome, Will, to the Munchie Mafia. He's my boss. So that doesn't mean that I have to behave myself. So, of course, so far we got expert mode. F around and find out. So expert mode it is, I guess. Thank you, CC. I see you don't like me either. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So my good old trusty blender. Oh, but Civi, what are you going to do with that blender? I'll show you. Now, there's a book that I have in my collection. Unfortunately, it's in my car, and I keep it in the trunk of my car because I take it with me wherever I go, and I just haven't had a chance. What the fuck am I doing here? Oh, that's what's going on. So anyway, this cookbook, it's not even a cookbook, it's a reference book, and I'll explain how that book works out. We've got a lot of snow out at my house, so going out to my car is just not going to be a fun task. Hey, Dream Disturber, welcome. And the book is called The Flavor Matrix, and it has all these color wheels and pictures and various other things in there. And what it does is it tells you, you pick an ingredient, and it tells you what foods to pair with it. Granted, it's sitting in my car, so I haven't been able to look at it. So I'm just kind of guessing, I suppose. And technically this shouldn't work, but we're going to see what happens. I'm going to take some, that should make about 2 cups. We're gonna expert mode this shit up, man. So this this reference book has this color wheel. You can choose an ingredient and it'll show you all the complementary things and contrasts and so on and so forth. And you can actually pair up random ingredients, or at least seemingly random ingredients, by just changing some things here and there and whatnot. It's very scientific. But it's called The Flavor Matrix, and it's a really cool book. And if you're into being a little creative and being a little edgy and a little crazy, I suggest getting it. You can get it on Amazon. No, I don't have a storefront. Anyway, so let's give this a whirl. You know, this thing is very noisy. And by the way, I don't do any research on this. I just come up with this shit out of the top of my head. I guess this would be stoner food without being stoned. So that's what a lot of people say. You must smoke a lot of pot to come up with these things. No, I don't. Actually, I don't smoke pot. Okay. So now we got this turned into a very fine powder. This shouldn't work because this is already, you know, fully developed into a product. I mean, it just is what it is. So we are going to add just a little bit of all-purpose flour to this, just so that that's pretty good. That's 2 cups, actually. Did a good job on that. Okay, so we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of regular all-purpose flour, because we do need to have something for that gluten to bind to, right? We're going to take some salt, and no, we're not making pasta out of this. I've seen a whole bunch of stupid videos on Facebook concerning that, where somebody, you know, went and made some it's 2 eggs, some pasta out of pasta that they ground up. We're not doing that. All right. But Civi, what are you making? I don't get it. I just don't get it. You'll soon see. Hello, Teresa. No, we're not cooking sausages tonight, sweetheart. No sausages. All right, so we've got 2 eggs in here. We got some salt. We're going to add a little bit more salt because, actually a little bit more than that, because this is going to need some salt. You always want to, with certain ingredients, you definitely want to make sure that you put a little bit more, especially for deep frying, but we're not deep frying today. But deep frying, you want to, see, now I put too much freaking water in it. Okay. That's okay. Timmy's like, so do I need to preload a DoorDash dinner? Am I not going to like this? I'm like, well, I don't know. All right. So this is really mealy. So we're just going to add just a little smidge more because I got a little too aggressive with the water. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to make it into a dough. I mean, if all else fails, I saved half the box, you know, so we can always do something else. But I've been mulling it over while I was watching the snow fall today, trying to figure out what exactly to do. And sure enough, I came up with this, and I don't like the texture of this already. You do not need to go outside, Dory. You've already been outside. So it's kind of funny because we're sitting on a porch, and Will and I are texting back and forth, and I'm like looking at my neighbor's lawn, and I can see their lawn. Their lawn can clearly be seen. Yet when I look at our lawn, it's like it's got to be at least 4 inches of freaking snow out there. Why is it that they don't have snow, but we have snow? Should have gone out there with the camera. Took a video of it. Okay, so now we're going to add some fat. That's going to be like, I don't know. We'll soon see. So now we're going to want to get that all nice and crushed up. Does anybody have any idea what I'm making now? It's definitely not the stuff that we're seeing these people making freaking pasta out of pasta. It's like, why? So we're going to want to work that butter in. We don't want to work it in too much. Okay. Yeah. Don't tease me, Teresa. Of course, it's 80 degrees there. Hello, Oracles. And hello, Pug Mom. Welcome. So, now we got this butter. It's pretty well incorporated. I got some chunks in there that I don't like. So anybody can guess what this is or what it's going to be? Oh, that's so sweet, Pug Mom. Hello, beautiful friend. Right back at you. Pups, birds, cats. Yes. Actually, we have 2 birds. We have an African gray and a blue and gold macaw. I don't dare let the African gray out because 1, he hates me. 2, I don't want people to see me bleeding to death on camera because he hates me. And he's a big freaking, actually he's a little asshole. He's not as big as the blue and gold. But we have 2 fish tanks, but no fish in them. My fish mysteriously died. And now we got Blackbeard stuff growing in the little tank. Gotta go get some snails. Just a little smidge more. I just don't like the texture. All right. There we go. Got plenty of butter in there because we want to give it that fat. All right, I've never made this before. This is just something that I pulled out of my ass. We'll soon see. Is it going to be a winner? Or is it going to be one of those, it doesn't suck? Or is it going to be like, DoorDash it is? All right. So, there we have that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Just leave it right there for right now. All right. So let's take a look at the upstairs camera. Set that aside. Let it do its thing. More gloves. Yes, I go through a lot of gloves. Kitty cat. Do we have a cat? No. Okay. Hey, Tiger, welcome. Poor Tiger. All right, so this is venison, and it's tenderloin. As you can see, the color is just really... Can we switch cameras? It's very dark. and it's very, very tender for a tenderloin because it's a tenderloin. We're going to take a little bit of flour. We're going to dredge this. Okay. Now, some people don't like venison because it's gamey. You can help thwart that a little bit by soaking it in milk for a little bit, and then just drain it out. And this one already had a little bit of it. It's not very gamey at all. So, all right. So that's all nice and coated. I also have pulled out some bacon out of the freezer. So I got like half pound of diced bacon in my box. Get that off. We've got butter. We've got some brunoise onion, some brunoise red bell pepper, parsley for some garnish and for added color, and mushrooms. I'm all out of smoked garlic. It's too damn cold to go and do smoked garlic, but I've got minced garlic paste, a bag of frozen baby lima beans, some remnants of sour cream, beef broth, heavy cream. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that yet, and Monterey Jack cheese. Okay. Which I bought when I was making the empanadas, but then forgot where that I had it, and it was stuffed in the back of the fridge. Couldn't see where it was. It got lost. Yada yada yada. So I got Monterey Jack cheese. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the stove. Move the blender out of the way. And in my saute pot, I'm going to put the bacon in there, spread it out. We're going to let it do its thing. Oh, but Sibby, what are you going to do with that? I'll just show you. I'll get it all nice and brown and golden delicious. Let me get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. Need love. Put that over there too. One of these days, I'm going to get some more cameras and put on the other half of the kitchen so you can see the other half. I guess I could just move one of the cameras, but then, then we have to sit there and dick around with the cameras and get all the stuff all taken care of. That's okay, Tiger. Timmy's got them. You can just sit there and look cute. Hello, onesie women. Hello, Struggler. Welcome. Yeah, I don't have them all yet. I sat there and dinked around with that with Stream Elements for pretty much better part of the day and just never got around to getting everybody's in there. But we got some of them going. We don't have it fully automated yet. Eventually we will. But right now, all right, let's move Mr. Stool out of the way. So some exciting things coming up. I'm working on the webcomic, and all I have to do is just add the audio bits to it. So Off Topic Squirrel.
That one didn't work.
That one did not work?
Nope.
Okay. Just jot down which ones aren't working, and I'll go back in to see why it's not working. It's so bizarre. Let's try this. See if this one works. Which one is it?
OTS.
OTS.
What's for the exclamation point?
Oh, that's another way to trigger it, but I guess it's not going to trigger. So, um, anyway, so Squirrel is getting the final audio bits put in. Pretty excited about that. Got all the graphic work done for it. So that will be featured on Off Topic Squirrel on my other channel that has all my non-cooking related stuff. So you'll have to go and like and subscribe to that one. If you're interested in webcomics, it's going to be fun because it's a little different in that after the second episode, once we get to the third episode, because we've got to do the introductions to the characters, the first two episodes, and get the basis of the story, there will be questions at the very end asking everybody that's interested in my webcomic to vote on what should happen next in the following or in the upcoming episode. So there'll be like three different options, and you'll be able to just go in and this is just water. People go in and decide where we want it to go. So I was going to make a succotash, but then I realized that I had forgotten the corn at the store, and I thought, well, shit, I should have some corn in the freezer, but I don't. All I could find was frozen peas, and I actually use those for eye mask when I have a headache. So those are not edible. All right, let that get happy for a little bit. Hey, Prairie Wolf, welcome, and hello, Help Grow Food, and welcome. So the method to my madness, because to this dish here, is that, well, it just seems so weird putting pickles with venison. How do you make that work? How do you make any of that work? Well, that's where imagination comes into play. And I purposely did not cut up the pickles because I wanted you to see that this is a jar that I just opened. Always taste your pickles. To see what flavor profile or any kind of weird ingredient. Just to see what you're playing with. Now, what's going to help cut through that briny sour is adding a little bit of fat and a different kind of sour. So that's where the sour cream comes into play, as well as butter. I think that's probably enough. I'm not going to use all of them. Oh my God, these are so good. Yes, I could make deer sausage, but I don't have a meat grinder anymore. I loaned out my meat grinder to somebody a long time ago, and it never got returned. Pretty rude, right? So this is Hempler's extra thick uncured bacon. Oh, you love the ratatouille. Thank you. I haven't worn him in a while. I misplaced him. He ended up in the dog treat cupboard somehow. I don't know why he would be there. And anyway, so we're just going to dice these up into little coins. because we actually want some of that texture to remain. So we don't want to like pulverize it to death, because then, it'll take on more of a relish texture. That's going to be really off-putting. Now these are cornichons. Or baby gherkins. I already had this sitting in the back of my fridge, unopened. I think it was for like a holiday party. So that's the excitement with that, with the whole squirrel thing. And really excited because it's like I've been wanting to get that done for the longest time, but things happen, and I had no time on my hands for a while because we were looking at October as being the release date of the webcomic. I was like trying to fix one of the graphics last night, and my Apple Pencil decided to take a dump. So I'm like, oh man, when was the last time I actually recharged this thing? So it's like onto the charger it went, and never got around to finishing it up. So that's what we're doing now, is doing the finalizations. All right, fresh bowl, because we're going to actually set this aside. Now, a while back, or last week, when we did the Wheel of Misfortune, I was like, oh God, I hate lima beans. But then it occurred to me that there was a reason why I hated lima beans. And the reason for that is the only time I ever had lima beans was out of a can. And I don't like canned vegetables. I can barely tolerate canned tomatoes. But, tomato season around here is very short. And sometimes tomato prices are really cost prohibitive. All right, so this is nice and golden brown delicious. We don't want to take it too far. Like one rogue weird piece there. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can get this without burning myself. And just now occurred to me, wait, what? Your boss? What the hell happened here? Well, surprise. Last night, Will called me to ask me if I were busy and if I would be willing to entertain coming back to the jail. And, like I said before, I thoroughly enjoyed that job. It felt like meaningful work where I could actually make a difference in the lives of others. Okay, so now we got all that beautiful fond from the bacon. We want to keep the bacon fat in there because venison is very lean. So this is what's next. So, yes, I'm going back to the jail. And don't worry, I'm not going to disappear for months. All right. I'm not going to disappear for a while, anything like that. So now we've got this. It's been sitting in its own stuff with getting happy with that flour. So this is going to brown fairly quickly. And they're small little mints. So that's what we're looking for. And now that that's halfway done, we're going to grab the box of goodies and the minced garlic, and we're going to come back over with this. Let me move the dough out of the way. I know. You guys are probably like, oh my God, this is intriguing. What is she going to do? What is she going to do? All right, always start with the hardest vegetable first when you're doing a saute like this. So we're going to start with the onion. Then we're going to move on after this to the red bell, or to the mushrooms, because we do want those thoroughly cooked. But we want to get some of this flavor from the onion. Sit there and get happy a little bit. Plus the sugars are going to also add to that fond. And you're like, oh my, some people are going to be like, oh my God, you're burning the bottom of your pan, Civi. No, we're not. This is fond. And when we go to deglaze with some sort of wine or liquid or whatever we want, if you're a non-alcoholic house, you can definitely use beef stock or vegetable stock or chicken stock or just plain water, or non-alcoholic wine. Or if you're not into wine, you can definitely hit it with some beer or cognac or brandy. Okay, there we go. And don't worry, this is going to be really delicious. And then we're going to grab the salt, because we're going to need the salt, definitely. And like I said, taste your weird ingredients before adding it, because you might actually end up putting in too much salt because of the pickles. But the cornichons, these ones are not very salty. I've had ones that were so salty that it made my lips pucker. I don't like that feeling. I don't like it. All right. Turn this rear pot on. Okay. This is going to help to break down a little bit of that brininess, but also drive it a little bit into the meat. All right. Stirry stir. Stirry stir. I'll grab the tablet here and bring it on over here so I can read what y'all are saying. I hate ignoring you guys. Sometimes I get caught up in my own little zone and forget about the fact that I have people watching. I got 14 people watching. Hello, hello. And to those that are just kind of hanging out in the background and not saying anything, hello and welcome to the Munchie Mafia. All right. So now those mushrooms are looking mighty darn good right now. I want to add just a little bit of warm spice to it. So we're going to put a little bit of cardamom, just like a pinch. And just a little smidgen of nutmeg, which is like a pinch as well. Little goes a long way. So you want to be a little careful. And we're going to try Jim Baldridge's secret seasoning. And did Killing and Grilling It ever show up tonight?
Not yet.
Is he here?
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet. I thought you said yes. Killing It and Grilling It sent me this seasoning, and it's actually really darn good all-purpose seasoning. Because I have a horrible thing about Johnny's seasoning salt. I don't like it. I don't like Johnny's. Hate Johnny's. Don't like it at all. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a sweeter wine, because we want to help cut back on that bite from the pickles, but we don't want to kill the bite from the pickles, but we want to also accentuate the flavor of the venison. So now we're going to add a smidge of the sherry to to this. And while we're at it, we're also going to add some Worcestershire to help balance it out. A little different kind of acid, but it's a low-key kind of acid. So now I'm going to let that deglaze the pan. You might need a little bit more. I don't know. All right, so there we have it. Now we're going to finish with our softer veg, which is our bell pepper. I chose red for no real reason other than I wanted some extra color to it. And some of this Gourmet Garden minced garlic paste. When you're a busy professional, this really comes in handy because when you're done with what you need, all you have to do is just pitch it in the freezer and pull it out like 15 minutes before you're going to need it. And away you go. It's freaking groceries. They're expensive. I don't know how people that are on EBT can keep up with the prices. It's really kind of bothersome. Short of going to food bank, which sometimes, you know, the variety of ingredients is kind of lacking in that regard. And that's kind of why we're doing this Wheel of Misfortune, is so that you can see that how to put a meal together. See how all that fond is starting to come up off the pan with some beef stock. So you can see how can I stretch my meals to make more meals, or to make them double by adding this or adding that, or this is what I've got in my pantry. How can I add this to a protein? So that's why the Wheel of Misfortune exists for the most part. That, and you guys seem to really like throwing me weird freaking ingredients like Twizzlers. It's like, Twizzlers, really? I'm not looking forward to the day that comes up. It's probably going to be the day that alligator comes up or something. Because yes, alligator is on there. I do have access to a lot of exotic meats. And I really love exotic meats. I love working with exotic meats. It's just fantastic to deal with all these different ingredients. And a lot of people, they have a tendency to stick with what they know. Step outside of that box a little bit and give it a whirl. See what happens, you know. Might be pleasantly surprised that you like venison or you know, I don't really like bear. I'm not fond of bear. Way too tough and bristly. It's one of those that you have to actually, you know, you're better off grinding it and, you know, using it as like a 70-30 with something else. Or, you know, wild boar. All the different things you could do with various types of seafood. All right, so now I'm just going to reach in. We're going to grab a little piece of this venison, and we're going to give it a taste and see where we're at as far as taste and texture. And that's actually pretty good. I like that. Just a little smidge more salt. All right. So now that that's doing its thing, let's go and move this back over here because we're going to come back over here for just a moment. Oh, and I finally recharged my plate spinner. So I got my plate spinner. All right, let's just turn this down and let it do its thing because it's not quite there. It's still a little on the chewy side. We want it tender, but we don't want to overcook it. So let that get happy on lower temperature for a little bit. And now, oh, I forgot to grab those. 2. Yes, I've got a really messy pantry. My pantry is horrible. A lot of stuff in there. I'm afraid that if I move the wrong thing, that everything's going to come crashing down. All right. So move those over here. Move those over here. Have we figured out what I'm doing yet? Let's see here. Where did my live chat go? It went back to top messages. All right. So our dough. Move this stuff out of the way. Grab my spoon. And just sprinkle just a little bit over here. And we're going to break this up into 4 pieces. I'm just going to reach in. We're going to feel how it feels. It feels pretty mealy. This might not work. And I have a feeling that Timmy's going to be like, oh, damn it, Civvy. DoorDash it is. All right. So, get that out of the way. I'm just going to squish it down a little bit, see how we're doing. Give it a little bit more flour. Shake it off. All right. Let's see here. How big do we need to make this? Oh my God, I should have put my hair up. Okay. As you can see, this is going to tear and it's going to be really brittle, but we want to get it flattened out. Because what we're going to do is we're going to press it in to this pan or to these things, each piece. But I'm going to grab some butter here, real quick. 2, 3, 4. Let's turn that off. All right, I'm going to drop a little knob of butter in each of these. Actually, probably not each of those. Probably just need to pick a little bit in each. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the butter and we're going to just rub it around. Get a little bit of that butter. Kind of like when you're greasing a fudge pan. If you've ever made fudge, it's basically what we're doing. We want to just get that nice and lubed up. Let's see here. There might be too much butter. It is. Okay, so let's put these 2 back. This butter is pretty spendy these days too. So, hey, She Cooks and Roasts. Welcome. All right. Oops. Well, the reason why we're greasing this is so that we can get a little bit of crispiness to it, because it's kind of going to be like almost cracker-like. Okay. Or I'm hoping to anyway. Never done this before. Never, ever. Never have I ever. So for those that are just now coming in, what we did was we pulverized macaroni in the blender until it was a coarse paste or a coarse grind. Added a little flour, added a little egg, a couple eggs, and then gave it some water. And called it a day. So, has anybody figured out what we're doing yet? Aside from making a mess. Any guesses? And we're going to have to just, add just a little bit of this crumble to it. Just press it right on in. All right. It's not perfect. Good enough for government work. Just like so. Now we'll move on to the next one. And she cooks and roasts is in the house. Hello. Whoops, I got a little bit of parsley in that. How the hell did that happen? I haven't even touched the parsley yet. All right. So we also threw some knobs of butter into this and we mixed it together in the hopes that it will produce steam as it bakes. And boy, this is really, really, really gray. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Hey, Tara, welcome. We're doing mystery box of, or mystery wheel of misfortune tonight. And then later we're going to spin for new ingredients for next week. And then, as per usual, the new folks who have not added to the wheel yet get first pick of what the next newest, craziest ingredient is. And I'll explain for those that are new how the wheel works. All right. So on the back stove, I turned the temperature down quite a bit. And what it's doing is it's starting to relax that meat a little bit. So it's not so tough. Not that it was tough, but we want it so that, it basically melts in your mouth. But also the deglaze will start to beef stock and the wine will start to thank you. Remy was hiding. I somehow managed to put him into the pet food drawer, and he got shoved into the back of the pet food drawer, never to be seen or heard from again. I've been looking for him for the longest time. Finally got him. Finally figured out where he went. So anyway, back to that. Back to this. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I forgot. I got sidetracked. Squirrel. Eternal squirrel is like, I don't think so, Sibby. Not today. Not today. Anyway, so it's going to reduce in the pan. That's what it was. It's reducing in the pan so that it should develop more flavor. But we don't want to take it so far. All right. There's that. There's that. So basically what we're making is a crust for these ramekins. And nobody has guessed yet, but we're making pot pies.
Tiger and onesie guessed that.
Oh, did they? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Tiger and onesies. And no, I didn't tell Tiger about it in advance, just in case somebody says, oh, you know them. No, they didn't know. All I said was, I think I'm going to give everybody the option to choose expert level fuckery or just plain old. Let's see what kind of basic stuff that you can do with that, because it's like I was like a casserole. I do a casserole, but then I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to try this out and see what happens. So I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to eat the inside of the pot pie. But Sibby, what kind of pot pie is it? Hey, Harvey. Long time no see, bud. So the pot pie that we're making is venison pot pie, Philly cheesesteak style. So that's where the cheese comes into play, because I really got to get rid of this cheese, because it was supposed to go in the empanadas, and it got lost to the back of the fridge behind all my juice. So, oh my God, why is this stuck? All right, so I'm just going to have to just piecemeal it at this point, which is fine, because it's, as long as you press it down into the pan and then bring it up and then pinch off any excess, you can still feel you can feel for uniformity that way. Move it around, but you don't want to squish it around too much. But then again, the gluten's already been pretty much developed in the form of the pasta that we used. But Sibby, what would happen if you cooked the pasta first? Who knows? I don't know. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants right now. I have no idea how this is going to work out. How do you think it's going to work out? Yes, we're going to be playing another game of Pearls Against Humanity. Didn't want to do it tomorrow because Super Bowl. So probably next week or so. I don't know. We'll see. But we're just playing it all by ear. We also have the premiere of the webcomic coming up too. I'm hoping that that will be next week's fun. I hope you'll like it. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time and thought about it. And I was like telling Tiger about it. Tiger's like, "Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got this really crazy imagination." Yes. Although some people just say that I'm crazy. But, I'm crazy in a loving kind of way. It's like I'm a different kind of crazy. In my own little world. No, Gil, I'm not talking to you right now. So, anyway. So I've been wanting to do that for a while. And yes, not crazy as in need to be put in a mental institution. Crazy in a good way. All right, that's a mess. And I know I'm going to be suffering all night long with this. All right, so now my water in the back is boiling. So we're going to drop these lima beans in there, into the water. I don't know why bags always give me grief. So those aren't bad. We're going to just let those do its thing for a few minutes. Knock some of the chill off. You know what? Maybe I don't hate lima beans. We'll soon see. Okay, back to our filling. We've got this reduced nice to the point where it's virtually au sec. Au sec is a French culinary term for almost dry. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take let's take this one first. We're going to add some sour cream to it. So it's kind of like a beef stroganoff meets a Philly cheesesteak. Whoops. Okay. And how much sour cream do we need? You know what? I think we're gonna call this good. This is like about a half of a cup. I think we'll be okay with that. Save the rest. So now we're going to combine these together. All right. Oh, and I forgot to put the bay leaf in there. I really wanted bay leaf because I love bay leaf. I love the way that it adds to flavor. All right. So there we have it. That's all thoroughly combined. Pop it on over here to the table. Move my. Oh, and by the way, hello.
What?
Hi. Rolling pins. Don't ever put them in the dishwasher. If you have to wash them, just give them a light rinse and then dry them off, or let it just air dry. It can ruin the finish, and then next thing you know, everything's sticking. All right, so now we're going to take our filling and we're going to put it in there. We want to leave a little bit of room on the very top because it's going to need it. Damn it. Forgot to turn the oven on. All right. Leave a little bit of space. Now I could have gone a little bit higher up on the lip of this and crimped it, made it actually look like an actual pie crust, but I just don't have the energy to do and patience to do that right now. So, all right. Number 4. Dang. All right. Two, 3. Oh, crap. In case Gil's watching. Sorry, Gil, I forgot you were at a funeral today. He never watches. All right. All right, so there we have that. Let me clean up my mess. Towel. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get a sheet pan. Yay. Things didn't topple over. All right. Stick them. Give them enough space. Stagger them a little bit. And then we're going to wait for the oven because stupid me forgot. All right. Thank you. I've got several pieces of those, Prairie Wolf. They were all inherited when Mommy Dearest died. When she died, she had a unhealthy addiction to QVC and purchased the hell out of these damn things. And then everything kind of went sideways. Ended up with like various different colors, whole sets. It's like, holy cow. And so the kids got some, got rid of a lot in the garage sale. I kept a couple. And that's that. I got at least 20 pieces that I inherited. Some of them, one of the bad things about the knockoffs that you get on these home shopping networks is that they're made by other companies, or they could be factory seconds, where they have like some sort of defect in them or something like that, and that's how you're able to get them for fairly cheap. And what happens is that the finish on the inside may be kind of, least to be desired, I guess, what you could say. You know, they're just, you know, they'll chip. I got like 2 of them that are totally chipped really bad. And I was like thinking to myself, what can I do with these? Can I repurpose them into something else? And yeah, exactly, Prairie Wolf. There were a lot, and that's just what I have. I mean, there had to literally be a couple hundred pieces of the damn things. Some of them I couldn't even get rid of. So some of them ended up getting donated. Some of them had chips fresh out of the box. Because they were still in boxes. They were still all new in boxes. We're going to switch cameras. Hello.
You want
I don't know. Something other than
trying to
that.
figure out how to run this bullshit.
Well, the pickles are sauteed inside. You can see some of them in here. Let me see if I can get back to the upstairs camera. Maybe you might be able to see them, but those little green round things, those are the pickles. They've been sliced into coins. And the macaroni is actually in the crust itself. We took the macaroni and put it in the blender and blended it down really, really fine, and then added a little bit more flour so that we can at least get some sort of structure, gluten structure to it, with some egg and a little bit of water, and then a little bit more flour because I put in too much water, and we added some butter in there, and then we let that sit and try to develop a little bit before we rolled it out. And subsequently got it stuck all over my my prep table. So that's how we ended up doing it. I was gonna do just a Philly cheesesteak casserole, but thought, well, let's give everybody a choice. Do we want to go expert mode, like totally get effed up with this, and see where we end up, or do we want to go with something that's safe? So that's how we ended up with this. That's how we ended up with venison pot pie, Philly cheesesteak style. And the meat actually tastes really, really good. You can taste a little bit of the pickle. It carries through with the pickle, but the Worcestershire kind of tones down a little bit of that brininess that you get from the pickle. So that's kind of nice. And my boss, Will, so I was talking to him about lima beans last night as we were talking about me coming back to the jail. And he was like, "Oh, what about a lima bean puree?" And I'm like, God, I don't like lima beans for one. Number 2, I don't like lima beans. So we're just going to let these sit and get happy. Let's pull them out. It's been about 10 minutes, so we're just going to drain them out. We're going to do a little bit of a succotash of sorts. That's where the bacon comes into play. I already had bacon in my freezer. So I'm like, freaking man, the price of goddamn eggs in this damn freaking state, because we have to have cage-free eggs now. It's freaking state mandate. Cage-free eggs. So it's like, oh, that's going to cost you extra on the leg. I swear. It's just nuts. I put the bacon away. Figured, well, you know, freaking breakfast is going to cost $49.99 for one person. With just, you know, bacon, you know, 4 strips of bacon and some toast and 2 scrambled eggs. You know, it's like $50 breakfast. It's like, I'm going to pay $50. Not literally. I mean, $11 for 18 count of eggs. Still ridiculous. I'm just over here snacking. Snack. So 411, 311. What? I still have DoorDash on speed dial. Thanks a lot, Timmy. There we go. That one worked.
A lot of them are.
Except for squirrel.
Yeah.
That's okay. And eventually that's going to all be automated. I just not automating it right now. I'm still trying to figure out stream elements. This is brand new to me. So see here, oven is on. Just waiting. We're gonna be baking this for a little bit. Let's see where we end up. Thank you, onesies. No, that's an awful long name for a channel. I was like thinking to myself, God, what made me do that? What possessed me to do that? I don't know. Off-topic squirrel sounded cute though, especially when it's the unofficial official off-topic squirrel. Bucci crew. All right, that's doing its thing. So, oh, thank you, Latoria. Thank you very much for the $2. Muchos grassy ass. Okay, so shall we spin while we're waiting for the oven to preheat? Or should we wait for a little while? Huh?
Did you already replace the ingredients?
Yes. I think you did. I believe so. Okay, so what should we spin for first? The protein, the starch, the vegetable, or
A small
the
barking
random?
dog.
Huh?
A small barking dog.
Small barking. Yeah, we could cook the small barking dog. Okay, so which one should we spin for first? Should we do protein, starch, veg, or
I'm gonna put you on that one and take her out.
okay, or the
All right, Dory, I'm coming.
rando?
Come on,
Let's
Cindy.
pull this off so you guys can actually see what the rando is. So the way that this works,
Come on, Dory.
every week we spin the wheel, and the outside ring is the proteins, the inside one, or the one inside that is the vegetables. Then we have the starches. Then we have random ingredients, or randos as we call them. So we get to
Come on, let's go.
so we're gonna do the rando
Come on
first.
out.
Okay. I'll find my pen. Probably buried in my bag.
Come on, Cindy Lou.
It was buried in my bag. You know, I live by dry erase pens. You would think that I would keep at least a dozen of them on my table. All right, so rando. So the random ingredient is pimentos. Okay. This paper. All right, so pimentos it is for the random. Yeah, be creative and difficult, except for please do not choose crab, lobster, and sea urchin. I am allergic to those three seafoods specifically. Unless you want me to go and live in a hotel for a couple days and make Timmy cook it. All right. All right, so we got the rando. It's pimento. So which one should we spin for next? The starch, the veg, or the protein? Starch, veg, or protein? Veg, veg. Okay. Spinning for the veg next. And the veg is spinach. Pinach. Okay, so bonus here for you, She Cooks and Roasts. Should we use fresh, canned, or frozen spinach? We're gonna toss a little wrench into the machine here. So you get to choose fresh, canned, or frozen. Yeah. Tiger, have you ever seen what it costs to get an EpiPen prescription? You can't just get one EpiPen. Fresh? Okay. All right. So now we're at starch and protein. Frozen, fresh. Okay, so Cece said fresh. So we're going to stick with Cece's. So now we're looking for which one should we spin. Starch is next. Cece says. Oh my freaking God. Really? All right. Freaking ramen noodles. All right. So that leaves us with, hey, David, welcome. That leaves us with protein. And while that's still spinning, I'm going to swing this around. We got shrimp. All right. Pop those in the oven real quick. Not set my hair on fire. All right. So now we got shrimp. So we have pimentos, fresh spinach, ramen noodles, and shrimp. Now, here's the question. What kind of shrimp do we want? Do we want canned shrimp? Do we want frozen shrimp? Do we want dried shrimp? Fresh. Fresh is kind of hard to get around here, so maybe not fresh. So you can have dried shrimp, canned shrimp, or frozen shrimp. Salad shrimp? Okay. Salad shrimp. Can I spell salad? Honest, I went to college. All right. It's dumping snow again. God, I'm getting tired of this. Let's move to Hawaii. Let's go live in my cousin's backyard. All right. So now we get to erase the shrimp. All right. Let's just come around here. Shrimp, come on, erase. All right, fine, be that way. Shrimp. Then the other one was, where'd it go? shrimp. Oh, there it is, spinach. And then we had ramen noodles. And then we had pimento. There it is. All right. So, wow. Frozen. Where is Tim? Tim is outside on the front porch with the barking dogs, the barky barkies. So we got pimento, spinach, ramen noodles, and salad shrimp. Fresh spinach. So do we want to add another ingredient? Or do we want to just stick with those four? It's up to you. So first person to say spin or leave it is going to decide whether or not we go with another ingredient. Tick. Stick with it? Okay. It's like, tick. What the hell is that kind of answer? All right. So that's for next week. I gotta find my damned. See here, I gotta have another dry erase pen around here somewhere. Dry erase marker. There we go. Okay, so. Alrighty. So let's go with who has not chosen an ingredient. Who's new here that has not chosen an ingredient for the Wheel of Misfortune? Go back to camera 1. How do I do that? I hit auto, right? How do I go back to camera 1, Timmy? Is it auto or just hit 1? Can I just hit 1? Oh. I don't know where I'm at. That's camera 3. So I hit auto and then hit 1. Okay, there we go. Okay. Is that right? Yeah. All right. Okay. So now we've got 4 areas that we need to replace. And this is where it gets fun. This is where you get to say some sort of ingredient that's not already on this board or on this wheel, and we will add it. So we're going to go first with the random ingredient. So who here has not added to this wheel yet? Prairie and Dream have not added it. Cece hasn't added one yet either, right? All right, so yeah, it does sound like a good ingredients list. Sounds like a stir fry, kind of, sort of. Lots of people. Okay, so let's Prairie Wolf. Why don't you give us a random ingredient? Now I'm going to list off the ingredients that we already have in the rando section. We got sumac, dark chocolate, gnocchi, frozen hash brown patties, Old Bay seasoning, green olives. What the fuck does that say? Pistachios, Twizzlers, Cheese Whiz, Vienna sausage, pork rinds, potato chips, and black beans. So, Darren, I mean, you literally can choose just about anything, as long as it's not crab, sea urchin, or lobster. I'm allergic to those. I don't have a current EpiPen right now. Maple syrup? No, maple syrup is not on there. So, no, we already have sumac on there. Sumac is a spice, and no, it's not poisonous. It's not that kind of sumac. It's typically used in a lot of Middle Eastern and Mediterranean and African dishes. It's kind of a hey Stardashians, welcome and happy birthday. Today is the Stardashian's birthday, Eric Stardashian. So happy birthday. Um, so what random ingredient should we add? All I need is somebody that has not added to the wheel yet. Please just give me the first person to give me a random ingredient that 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 you've not that we don't have on here yet. It could be anything. It could be M&Ms. Could be gummy bears. Could be uh, ginger ale. It could be anything that's edible. Just don't say Tide Pods. Please don't say Tide Pods. Please don't say Tide Pods. So we're looking for a random ingredient, any kind of ingredient. It can even be another vegetable. It could be something totally stupid, maybe even popcorn or something. God, the mods are just on it today about the. Okay, so we got ginger ale. Okay, that was just a suggestion, to give you an idea what kind of ginger ale. Okay, so next we need a starch. Actually, there's some pretty cool things you can do with ginger ale, Hug Mom. It could be just regular ginger ale, or it could be hard ginger ale. So the next one is going to be starches. What we already have on the wheel, okay, is potato salad, orzo, ditalini, which is a pasta, fava beans, potato, baked potato, French fries, fettuccine, rice, Kraft macaroni and cheese, rice noodles, mashed potato, and egg noodles. So we need just one more starch. We just need to add a starch to the wheel. And when it comes to that sort of thing, you could definitely say something like can of SpaghettiOs or anything starchy. Bread, can of biscuits, that sort of thing. Yams. Yams. All right, good job. All right, so now we need vegetable. Next one is vegetable, right there. It's going to be the almost to the end ring. So what we have right now is peas, cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, carrot, corn, acorn squash, bean sprouts, Brussels sprouts, leeks, beets, asparagus, and Swiss chard. Eggplant, okay. Alrighty. Used what a while back? Yams? No, we used sweet potatoes. That was sweet potatoes. Okay, so now what we have is proteins. And proteins, this is where you can get a little creative. And don't forget, no crab, no lobster, no sea urchin. Okay? So what we have is pork ribs, hot dogs, Spam, beef ribs, chicken nuggets, fish, roast beef, pork, hamburger, pork chop, alligator, duck, and buffalo. Oh, come on. Baba Ganoush is good. You like hummus. Very similar, just one's made with eggplant. I actually have a tattoo of an eggplant. I really do. Mealworms. Chicken gizzards. Okay, so no tofu. Tofu could fit in that category, definitely. I don't like tofu. Chicken livers all day long. Chicken gizzards. So Cece said chicken gizzards. That was the first one. And as far as mealworms go, do you want me to get divorced? Because that's how chefs get divorced. I tried to introduce them to crickets, and that didn't go over very well. True story. True story. So we're going to go with gizzards. Alrighty, Rue. So the wheel has been refilled for the next time. Yeah, come to think of it, I even have a tattoo of a cricket, but I don't know how well you can see that. Let's see. Come over here. I'll show you. So there is an eggplant on my arm. It's right here. Eggplant. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So let's see here. Timmy, which camera is the upstairs camera? That let's see here. Camera 2. So I hit auto at 2. All right. So that's smelling pretty damn delicious in there right now. You know what? I think this might actually be a winner chicken dinner, and we may not have to DoorDash. Watching Tim eat it. Which one? The mealworms? Tofu is right up there with mealworms and eggplant. Yeah, I try to avoid soy as much as humanly possible. I've already had a brush with breast cancer, so I kind of try to stay away from soy as much as humanly possible. So thankfully it was an easy one. It was easy to excise, but now I got a Franken nipple. I'm a little self-conscious about Mr. Franken nipple. Oh God, no, not the oysters. Oh my God, that already caused some controversy in a really bad way. Okay, so now we're gonna oil up our pan. Let that get happy for a little bit longer. And I'm actually going to get into the oven. I'm going to pull these out. I'm going to actually check out the texture of the crust and see if we're going to be door dashing tonight. All right. It should add a, if everything went as good as planned, it should be nice and crispy, almost cracker-like. And you know what? That texture does not seem that bad.
You
All
pick
right.
a number and hit auto.
Yeah, I know. Oh, pick a number and then hit auto.
Yeah,
You can't do it the other way around?
no.
Well, I did it the other way around because I'm backwards. All right, so this is where the Philly part comes into play. Is we're going to top these with cheese. We're going to put a pretty decent amount of cheese on there. Okay,
You need to be on 4 though.
need to be on 4. Oh yeah, now we do.
Well, they do have labels right underneath the buttons.
Yeah, I know they do. I'm just now getting used to bifocals. All right. So this is where the cheese comes in handy. Now, if we wanted, what we could do is we could also sprinkle some breadcrumb on top as well, but I'm not going to. I'm already having issues with gluten. I have an autoimmune disorder, and eating gluten causes me all sorts of grief on top of being lactose intolerant. Okay, so there we have that. Now I'm going to get the mittens and we're going to pop it back in to the oven and let that cheese get nice and happy while we take care of the remainder of our dish, which is the lima bean second hash to go on the side. So our pan is nice and hot. First off, we're going to take this. We're going to put the bacon back in. Get rid of this. So it's out of the way. Ow. You know, speaking of breast cancer, I was days away from going to my pre-op appointment, and I was wearing this in the summer, and it was very warm, and I had a camisole top on, and it was a V-necked camisole top because I don't like wearing bras. I hate bras. Bras are the Antichrist. So I was frying up some bacon, and there was a bunch of stuff that I had to do before the appointment, and went to the doctor's office to have my pre-op appointment, and he canceled my surgery, which was scheduled for just a few days from that moment in time, right? And so he's like, I can't do any surgery on you until that heals completely. We're talking scab free. It's got new skin, yada, 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 yada. That was 6 weeks of my life that just seemed to be never ending. All right. So now we just parboil these just to give them a little bit better texture while not being too soft, because one of the things I remember about canned lima beans was the texture. And normally I'm not a texture person, but for some strange reason that was just totally suck ass. I did not like that, did not enjoy it, hated it with a bloody passion. Well, if you're not going to eat your vegetables, then you could just go to your room, sort of thing. And had a dislike for them ever since. So this is actually the first time that I've actually purchased frozen lima beans. And you know what? They might not be nearly as bad as I thought they were going to be. Funny. 50 something odd years and just now realizing, you know what, lima beans aren't that bad. 50 something odd years of hating them. There's some other things that, I used to absolutely hate that all of a sudden I decided, oh, you know what, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. So they eat all sorts of silly things down there. What?
Banana slugs.
Banana slugs? Oh, God. I've never eaten a banana slug before. I'm guessing that they're, in order to get them meal ready, they have to be purged, right? By purged, I mean given a bunch of organic vegetables
That's enough.
and whatnot to
No more.
get
more.
them to purge any kind
Go
of
bug
toxic things that they might have gotten into, or anything with heavy metals.
Go bug mom.
Go bug mom my ass. No, we're not bugging mom. Mommy's not buggable right now. I love you, Cindy, but not right now. You see me accidentally burning my puppy. All right, so that little dollop is something that looks like albino pigeon poop. Is that garlic puree? I'm just going to add that toward the end here. Whoops! Oh my God! Not sure if lima beans are toxic to dogs, so trying not to get them messed up all over the floor, because Hoover and Kirby over there, they just love to get hold of stuff. Might not even be food, and they stick it in their mouths. Hell, half the time it's like I have to fight Cindy because she's always got Leroy's paw in her mouth. She has this fixation with his paws. It's very unhealthy. How obsessed she is with that. Alrighty. So it's got some nice color to it. I mean, you could add other things to it. Definitely corn, but, I don't have any corn. I don't keep canned corn. I don't keep canned vegetables except for some tomato here and there. All right. Yes, the pies actually do smell freaking amazing. The cheese is halfway there. You want to give it a little bit of color. Get it a little bit lightly golden, but not too overcooked. Okay, so now we got these in butter. You can, if you want, put some cream in there and then just let it reduce. Turn it nice and thick. I don't know. She cooks. Do you have problems with butter? I'm just kind of curious about that because for some strange reason, I'm lactose intolerant, but butter does not bother me. But heavy cream will bother me. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Wow. It's kind of weird. I'm really freaking starving to death. Okay. So we have that. Get a plate here. Put that over there. Move my tablet back over here so I can read. Oh, yeah. Same here. There's not so much cramping. Whole milk will make me cramp. So I just don't understand how that's even possible. I end up getting the shits really bad from too much heavy cream. The milk, I don't know. Plus I get a really terrible heartburn. All right, here we go. Turn off the oven. Got plenty of butter. Grab that. Bring this over there. Alrighty. So now comes the fun part, getting this out of that without burning myself. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah. Frequent flyer there, are we? All right. Have that. Scoot that over here. Alrighty. And there we have it. A bit of parsley.
Pull the plate towards you.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Parsley. Bam. Alrighty. So we've got a venison. Ow. I counted. We have a venison pot pie. Philly cheesesteak style. Pull it up for upstairs camera. And there we have it. Is that blurry? I can't see that far.
No, it looks good.
It's a nice little succotash. So I'm going to get a spoon because I want to see how that crust turned out. I'm sure that you guys want to see me eat it on camera and say it doesn't suck, right? Or, oh my God, honey. Put in the order for DoorDash. Panda Express or something like that. Okay. So it's got a nice crust. The crust is cooked all the way through, it seems. Ooh. Check that out. The filling is really good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say it doesn't suck. But I'm gonna say it doesn't suck. But that crust sucks.
Leroy,
Oh.
okay? Ouch.
Poor Leroy. I mean, it served its purpose. It did what it was supposed to do. It made a crust, but there's some little mealy bits in there that's a little too coarse, and they're just a little rock hard. So I think if I were to do this over again, I think what I would do is back off on the macaroni a little bit. Just maybe use a little bit less and put a little bit more flour to it. Definitely more fat, but it didn't quite fully develop like I wanted it to. But it's crusty, but not in the way that I would have liked. So if you ever run out of flour and you have to make a pie crust, but you do have a whole bunch of spaghetti and macaroni and stuff that's in your pantry, just go to the store. Let's go to the store. I'm still picking out little pieces. So that's the honest to God's truth. It doesn't suck. The filling is delightful. Oh, oh my God. All right, so it's official. I do not hate lima bean. That's actually really good. I do need a soda. Where's my sodas?
In the little fridge.
Oh, can you grab me one?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, just eat the filling. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it's going to be. But these lima beans, my God. Maybe it's because it's got bacon in it. That thought had crossed my mind, or at least par cook it. So if al dente is like 7 minutes, maybe go 4.5 minutes. I thought about that, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to try it. Maybe we'll try it again. You guys want to see me try it again, but with par cooked pasta? Just make a comment. Those lima beans are good. I like it. All right, so has anybody tried the Blackberry Dr. Pepper? Just recently found these in stores, and I don't want to commit to a whole 12-pack because I don't generally drink a lot of sodas. This is like 3 days worth of soda for me. I'll drink maybe up to here, and then I'll be done with it. Just put the cap back on and stick it in the fridge. So, in case you were ever wondering,
Pug Mom didn't like it.
Pug Mom. Oh, you tried it and you hated it? Oh my God. So let's see. Next one, just add it as an extra, next one, just add it as an ingredient. Why the hell can I not read? God, I'm not this dorky. Just add it as an ingredient. Add what is another ingredient? The Blackberry Dr. Pepper. I love blackberry things. I love blackberries. I love especially blackberry pie and blackberry crisp and cobblers. And what's known as bumbleberry pie, which is like blackberry, raspberry, strawberry rhubarb, and some apple. It's like all of the pie fillings. It's not enough to make a full pie. Gets all mixed together and made into a pie. It's called bumbleberry. But it's predominantly berry, but oh my God, it's my favorite. So actually, I kind of like the smell of this. There's no blackberries in that Dr. Pepper. No, I'm guessing not. Water or carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, less than 2% of caramel color, natural and artificial flavors, sodium benzoate, phosphoric acid, caffeine, sodium phosphate, produced under the authority of Dr. Pepper 7-Up Inc. Blah, 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 blah. So it says nothing about. Oh, I guess it could be under natural and artificial. Yeah, I just don't know what to think of this. I just don't know. Yeah. I'm glad I just bought a bottle. So, yeah. Maybe if I throw copious amounts of rum in it or something, maybe I might like it a little better. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to waste the rum. just tastes so artificial. Yeah. Yeah, everybody go check out Dream Disturber's channel afterwards. He's going live after. But we are pretty much done with this. Munchie Mafia. Because the big game is on tomorrow. We're not going to be on tomorrow for anything. I don't know what my schedule is going to be like, but I know that onboarding is not going to be happening until Monday. So I know at least Monday I have nothing to do but sit around on my ass and wait. But I am going back to the jail, at least temporarily. At least there's a assistant there now, and I don't know what all transpired, but I've been asked to come back. So, and I thoroughly respect Will, my boss, and actually enjoy his company. So, I agreed. So that's what I'm going to be doing, at least in the meantime, until I figure out what's going on with the other one. Just sitting around with this hurry up and wait. Last time I had to do all this before was because of a lengthy background check process. It took like 6 weeks, as well as a credit check and all that other crap. So that was fun, not fun. So anyway, Munchie Mafia, thank you so much. It doesn't suck, but it sucks. I'll just put it that way. The filling is delightful. I really like it. That blackberry Dr. Pepper, no. I'm glad I just bought a bottle just to check it out, because there's been so many mystery flavors out there that I just don't know what to do with myself. It's like, well, what flavor is that? Yeah, and I went and Googled it to find out, okay, so what's this mystery flavor supposed to be? And it's like, Starlight and space, and then there was a Beetlejuice one, and like, why can't you just put on the can somewhere that it's caramel apple flavored or stinky ass crack flavored or something, so that we don't have to guess. So we can say, oh, I think I'll pass, or yeah, maybe stinky ass crack might taste good. At least give us that option. But anyway, Munchie Mafia, thank you so much for coming out, and I hope that you all have a fun rest of your weekend. And please remember, tomorrow's a big game. Please don't drink and drive. Have a responsible driver, or be a responsible driver for somebody, or take an Uber or something. So don't forget, cook with love and eat with passion. Have a good night, everybody.